Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mac if you're new here, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 best digital products and digital downloads that you can be selling on Etsy in 2022. My last video on this, people were really interested and were reaching out to me on Instagram and in the comment section asking a bunch of different questions on products and designs and so much more. So I wanted to go ahead and create a video on the best 10 products in my research and opinion. I went ahead and did some research on this because I really wanted to give quality information because I know that a lot of the different things on Etsy are becoming saturated. So I really wanted to dive in, do keyword research, try to sell things on my own and see what got hits, what was being favorited. So that is where I am getting all the information for this video today. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I post videos every week talking about passive income, different ways to make money online, and so much more within that niche. So if that interests you, please be sure to leave a comment, leave a like, or subscribe if you'd like to. So I do want to go over two things before I go ahead and give the top 10 products, and those are things that were asked a bunch of times on the comment section of my last video and that were being DM'd to me, so I just wanted to go over them a little bit more in depth. So a digital download is essentially a product that you create. It can either be an editable file or it can be something that is already completed that a customer would just download and have for themselves, or it's something that they can edit on their own using, like I said, an editable file. Now, on Etsy, it's really simple to upload that listing, and if you haven't seen the video where I talked about how to do this step by step, you can check that out if you want to learn how to actually list the items on Etsy. Etsy will send them that file, and then they just automatically get it delivered to them in an email, so it's completely passive once you already upload that listing and people start purchasing it. So it's not like you have to go back and edit the file for the person every time. I'm going to be showing you how you can actually get an editable link for that or use a PDF. So there's a lot of information to go on about, but I will go ahead and clear those things up later on in the video. Next thing that I want to talk about is if you are using Canva, what exactly can you use and what you can't use when it comes to copyright and all of that good stuff. So that was a number one question I was getting asked, is can I actually use Canva template? So upon my research, I have come to the realization that most templates on Canva cannot be directly downloaded and sold on Etsy. Now, you can use templates on Canva for inspiration and edit them a certain way, but you can't physically use that exact template, download it, and sell it. So I wanted to be clear on that so that people aren't getting any copyright notices. It's unlikely that it would happen, but it's still a copyright infringement that you would be opposing on. So it's important to know that Canva does state you need to create these things on your own. So when it comes to graphics that are available to use, all of the free graphics are completely fine to use for resale. You can go ahead and just put them all together, creating your own template or art or logo or whatever it is you're creating after I tell you all of the things that you can create and all the opportunities. But I just want to be clear on that because I don't want people to run into any trouble later on. Now, when it comes to the pro graphics, I do recommend having a pro account because there are way more graphics to use, and that is how you will get an editable link for a person that will purchase from your Etsy shop and be able to edit a file. You can do that completely automated using a Canva downloadable link, which is brand new and it's really, really cool and great for sellers. With that, know that any of those graphics that are a pro graphic that you use in your editable file that someone will be purchasing, they will also need to have a Canva Pro account to download it without the watermark. So if you are selling something that requires that, you do need to let your customer know so that when they're purchasing it, if they don't have a Canva Pro membership, they aren't running into a watermark and having to redo everything that they thought you already did for them. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talking about my top 10 digital downloads to be selling on Etsy right now. First digital product that I'm going to be talking about today is a Mockup Photo. If you're not already familiar with a Mockup Photo, they're really used for print-on-demand businesses or online businesses in general. So what it is it's a photo of a blank item. So for an example, a photo of a blank mug that you would take behind a background that's targeting a specific niche. So for example, let's say it was fall season, you could go ahead and do cute fall background with this mug there, and then the people that are selling print-on-demand items would purchase purchase this photo from you and put either their logo or their design on the photo that you took and use that for market their business or use for their Etsy photos, as their listing photos, and so much more on their websites. So these are especially popular right now because so many people are getting into print on demand. And if you already have a print on demand shop right now, you know how important those listing photos are. So this is a really great product to be selling digitally on Etsy. Now, a few things to keep in mind if you are interested in doing this is that you will need a high quality camera. You don't want to use something that's going to come out low resolution because people obviously want high quality images when it comes to marketing things on their store. This will work especially well for people who have photography experience, who are interested in that in general, but it just is something to keep in mind that it does need to be high quality and the right file size for you to be doing this because you don't want to run into any issues along the way. The next product is a labels for businesses. Now this could go in a ton of different routes, and that's why I felt like it was so important to talk about because there's so many different things that people are selling all the time and it's always changing. So I feel like this is a really interesting thing that you can take a bunch of different ways. So some examples of what I mean by labels are cosmetic jar labels, chapstick labels, candle labels. There's so many products that people are selling that they want custom labels for and don't want to pay high prices for print shops to actually print the labels for them. For example, I was actually selling gift boxes a few years ago and I was outraged by the prices that these print companies wanted to print labels on things for me. So I actually created them on my own with a Cricut machine. So I completely understand why there is a demand for this because designing can be such a overwhelming thing when you first get starting in your business, and having those labels just already made for you or a simple file that you can edit and put your own name on is so much easier. So I definitely recommend looking into this because it's really good and it's a way to actually reach a broad audience on Etsy, but while knowing that there's a demand for it because there's so many people starting new businesses. Let's say, for example, you want to sell candle labels. You could go on Etsy and see kind of what other people are doing and what other file sizes are most popular. And then you could go ahead and go to your Canva account and create a label sized for this and create the design. And you can put in the generic wording so that the customer that purchases it knows that's where their business name will go. And then you can share that downloadable Canva link so that when they purchase it, they just go in and they're able to edit it themselves, completely taking that extra step away from you. So it's totally passive. So I think this is a really good idea and there's so many things that people sell, like I said. The next thing kind of piggybacks off of what I was just talking about with how many people are starting their online businesses, and that is you can add thank you cards or just business cards in general to your online store and sell these to businesses that are looking for these added things to put in their packages. So if you've never seen a business thank you card, it's essentially just a card that is added to a package for a small business or even a bigger business that just thanks you for your purchase, lets you know how to take care of the item and how to contact them or share it on social media. These are super popular, and again, with the business niche is business owners are busy and not everyone is able to create these things on their own. So it's a really good niche to be in. So the next thing is a branding kit. Now you can do a branding kit for lots of different things. You could do a social media branding kit, a Pinterest branding kit, all the way to a Shopify theme or even your Etsy brand kit. So what I mean by brand kit is essentially establishing that high quality brand and having all of your banners, your logos, your highlights, everything in sync. So like I talked about in my last video on how to really get more sales to your Etsy shop, it's important in establishing that high quality brand that really reaches your target customer. So lots of people don't know how to create this. So if you're really good with aesthetics and designing in general, this would be a really good thing for you to sell on Etsy because you can essentially transform someone's brand just by using their logo and a few different images to put together a high quality marketing strategy. The next thing is a printable card, and there's so many different ways that you can go about this. You could do a get well soon card, a thank you card, birthday card, wedding cards, or even invitations. Card in general is just a term to use, but there's so many different ways and niches and things that you can really go about and get creative with a printable card. This is also pretty evergreen, and you could be selling them all year round, especially if you do something like a birthday card or a thank you card or a get well soon card, because people need those all times of year. And if you were to do them for the holidays, you would even have increased sales during that time. So that's definitely something that you should check out, especially if you are interested in cards and like to give people physical cards. They also can be sent through email form too. If you're concerned that people aren't sending cards anymore, you still can send digital cards, and you could even do that as a video or a meme that you create in Canva using that downloadable link I've been talking about. So the next thing is a resume template. Now, it was funny when I saw this because I figured to myself, like, would people actually purchase that? But when I really thought about it, I have had problems in the past making resumes myself. So it is a really valuable thing for people to purchase if they're concerned about their resume. Some jobs right now, especially higher paying jobs, are very competitive. So it's important to have a really good resume. And I noticed in my trend research that this is something that was trending and selling really well, was resume templates. I also, on Canva, there are some templates that you can kind of follow if you're not familiar on how to create a resume, but I definitely would suggest doing this if you're someone that has a good resume yourself and you know what exactly works and what doesn't. And this could be something that could really be next level for you because people are searching for it and are purchasing it. So the next thing is pantry labels or organization labels. Now, if you think of the time of year we're in, we are just now starting spring. So people like to do spring cleaning and organization. So what better time to sell pantry labels, spice labels, organization labels? I've been seeing it all over TikTok with like those laundry rooms where people do the aesthetically pleasing laundry rooms with the different glass jars and the labels. This is like a thing that people do. So if you're really interested in aesthetics and creating different labels, this could be something really cool for you. Just again, make sure that you have those sizes correct and include, you know, a downloadable file and how to actually print that so that your customer can get the correct paper to put in their printer and just print it out for themselves and not have to edit it and mess with it. But this is definitely something that could do really great, especially with the time of year we're in. And if you're watching this at a later date, try to take that and see where exactly you could incorporate it. If you're getting into summer, you could do garage labels for different toolboxes and things like that. Or Christmas, you could think of bin labeling and organizing for different kinds of things that people have to put away or for storage. So you could take it a bunch of different ways, but labels work out great, especially for kitchen and organization. Next thing is something that I have actually purchased for myself in the past. So I thought it was really interesting when I saw this and thought, why didn't I think of that sooner? Something that you may not know about me is I actually used to have an Airbnb property that I rented out on the side in addition to my bartending job before COVID. Unfortunately, COVID did have an effect on that, so I no longer have the one in Miami. Airbnb is becoming really popular, especially in areas where vacationing is opening up again. So people are starting to open Airbnbs. So where I'm going with this is creating an Airbnb welcome guide or an Airbnb kit that someone can print out and put in their Airbnb. So like I said, this is something that I purchased myself. I had a welcome guide. I printed out all the pages and filled them out myself and put it in a binder so that when guests were coming, they knew where they could find food, how to contact me if they needed to, how to contact the maintenance, and all of that good stuff. So it's something that is really necessary when you have an Airbnb. And if you live in an area where Airbnbs are frequented, this is something really cool that you could do because you could potentially actually create it saying, you know, Miami Airbnb guide and give the best restaurants, the best places to go, and all of that in between so that the person that's purchasing it doesn't actually have to go through and fill out very much except for their contact information. So this is a great thing to start selling, especially getting into the summer season. People are traveling, so a really good one there. The next thing is really great if you are a photographer, like I was saying before about mockup photos, but if you're someone that has a really passion for photography and really wants to get your name out there, what better way than selling your art, but as a digital download? So what this means is that you would take photos of, or using photos that you already have, and let people purchase them to print out and put up in their home. Especially knowing that NFTs are becoming so popular, this is a way that you can kind of get your name out there and just sell photos that you already have or photos of things that people would want to have in their homes. I couldn't believe how well digital art prints were selling, but in the photography niche. So not so much, you know, graphics, but actual photos of the beach or boats or different things that people are interested in and want in their homes. It's actually harder to find art prints out when you're shopping. I was noticing this when I was looking for stuff for my house, and I was like, how can I not find any canvases? Like, why is this so difficult? Everything is being purchased online. So if this is a way that you could take your art and sell it on Etsy, you should definitely check it out. So the last and number 10 of the best things to be selling digitally on Etsy right now is SVG Cut Files. So a cut file is a template that someone would print out and use in a Cricut machine or any other kind of printing machine that they may have and use to create. This will require a little bit of research on your part if you're not already familiar with Cricut or different cutting machines, because you'll have to get your dimensions right. But I'm sure some of you watching this have heard of those machines and are interested in creating these files. This can be something as simple as a 3D card, or it could be something that someone is going to put on a mug or a t-shirt or something else. So it can get kind of complicated, but you could also go the more easy route with it. But I do recommend doing your research, like I said, so that you have the correct file sizes and don't run into any trouble with it. Many people, like I was saying before, are starting businesses, and this is a really popular way of creating things in your home and starting small businesses. So that is it for my top 10 digital downloads and products to be selling on Etsy in 2022. I really hope that one of these gave you inspiration or an idea of something that you want to start selling on Etsy that requires minimal effort in the beginning, and then you can just start making that money while you sleep. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and let me know that you liked it, or comment any questions that you may still have or ideas on videos that you'd like to see furthering this, or how to actually upload them and all of that in between. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, like I said before, please make sure you're subscribed because it helps me stay motivated to create videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.